Hi everyone, this is Julie with You to Be Healthy, and today we're bringing you a webinar for teachers. And this one is called Teach Your Way to Wealth. And even though it's kind of a hokey kind of title, we hope that those of you who are teachers, or maybe those who know teachers, who are looking for additional sources of income to try to cram it into their busy schedules, this might be something that might be of interest to them. So this is a great way to learn about earning some additional income using the skills you already have as being a teacher. So let's get started. Teachers are an invaluable part of our everyday society, and you both are responsible for molding young minds, both intellectually and emotionally. And we do pray that the person standing in front of our children is someone who reflects our values. And I know in today's news right now, a lot of the teacher unions are really under fire, and deservedly so, but we also know that the union does not often represent the individual teacher. Majority of teachers out there are really great people. A few bad apples seem to get all the press, but we know that there's some really, really good, hardworking, good people that are trying to reach our children and do the actual teaching. So I'm going to be speaking to them, and I know you probably know some. You can either remember some back as a child, or if you currently know a teacher, you may be one yourself. So despite their significant influence, teachers really aren't paid as very well. And I always thought that was odd, because they really have an important role in life. And my father was a teacher, my mother was a teacher, my grandmother was a teacher, and none of them made very good money. And they were all great teachers. They had lots of students that loved them, parents that always made nice comments about them, but the paychecks never reflected for the amount of work they put in. And this really can be unfair, as it can make them really hard to save for even a decent retirement. So in this webinar, we're going to discuss some of the ways teachers can earn on the side, and you're going to be using skills that you've already honed throughout the years. If you've made a career out of teaching, learning about this business opportunity can really help provide an additional source of income that can be maintained despite your hectic schedule. And I know that's the problem a lot of times. People are like, oh, I don't have time. Who has time to work a second job? So here's some things what you're going to learn. So in this free webinar, you're going to learn the problems teachers face when trying to earn income on the side, the opportunity perfectly suited for teachers who want a side income, the skills and qualities that you already have can make you a perfect candidate, how to get started, plus much more. So why do teachers have difficulty earning on the side? In case if you're not a teacher, maybe you're watching this webinar because you know someone who is, you might not quite understand why you have trouble earning money on the side. Well, number one, teachers work long hours. Contrary to what a lot of parents think, teachers are in school and working, even at home, more than 8 hours a day. So not only are they in front of the classroom, but you have to arrive early. You usually stay after school has been let out. Plus you come in before school starts in the fall. You're coming in, you're getting your classrooms ready, you're getting your curriculum ready. Plus you bring all this work home, you grade papers, you grade tests, you design tests. I remember my father working very long hours, grading papers and typing up tests. And I remember back then it was when they used to mimeograph them, the little ink on the roller, and everybody would get their tests and the paper would be warm and you'd smell the ink. I'm kind of dating myself there, but I remember him working lots of hours, far beyond the time he spent in the classroom. So many teachers still do that. There's just no way you can get it all done in 6 hours. The teachers have demanding schedules. So not only do students rely on the teachers, but teachers are constantly in contact with parents. And it could be through email, could be phone call, teacher parent meetings. They spend a lot of time conversing with parents, not just the students. And there is the joke about teaching is the one job where you have to do more work if you call in sick than if you just suffered through it, because you have to find the substitute teacher, you have to coordinate with that substitute, you got to go over the lesson plan, any activities that day. Sometimes it's just better to come in, and so a lot of teachers will teach through being sick. They also have to get caught up on, if they miss a day, they have a doctor's appointment or what have you. a lot of times too, they have kids at home and maybe their child's sick, so they have to stay home with their child. So there are 30 other kids or 60 other kids or whatever other many kids are teaching. They have to still grade papers and read the essays and come up with the lesson plans. So calling in a day off is really not feasible for most teachers. This makes them short on energy. Over 3/4% often find their job stressful because it's more than just teaching. They got into the job to teach children, but then they realize there's all this politics and all these administrative stuff that really they weren't prepared for. So a lot of them leave at the end of the day, both physically and emotionally exhausted. And again, most of them take their work home with them. Very few jobs take your work home with them, but teachers definitely always are taking their work home with them. So this often makes them unable to look for other sources of income because they physically don't have the energy and they typically just flat don't have the time. They just don't have the time. So business opportunities that are ideal for teachers are few, but this one might work. So let's take a look at it. So according to the most recent info from National Center for Education Stats, is public school teachers earn an average of, I think it's closer to 60,000 right now. And some are paid a little bit higher. Some are paid a lot less. If you have a parochial school, I can assure you those teachers are not paid anywhere near the public school salary. And there's not any really room for promotion. You can maybe eventually become a principal, but you're not going to make a ton of money that way either. But really, there's not a lot of room for promotion. Okay. And so what teachers need is additional income. And they need it in a way that doesn't take away from their current hours. They don't need more work. They just need more money. So if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, according to Warren Buffett, you'll work until you die. And that pretty much answers for a lot of us. So passive or residual income are sources where cash flow is based on the work that you kind of perform once. In other words, you get the ball rolling. And the idea is to make it more automated so you don't have to put in a lot of hours to get it to get your return. And one of the best methods of earning residual income is through online network marketing. And but if you're hearing the needle cross the record right now, and you're like, this isn't for me, forget it, I'm turning it off. I ask you to stay to the end because while a lot of network marketing companies are horrible and they have given a bad reputation to the whole industry, this one's different. And all I'm asking you is to hear us out. Okay, so don't click off. Let's go to the end. I promise it won't be much longer. So some advantages of online network marketing. Let's go over some of these pluses, okay? It does require minimum investment. You're not talking about thousands of dollars to get started here. It gives you control over your schedule. Your schedule is already jam-packed if you're a teacher. If you don't have time to work a second business or go to a physical storefront and put in the time, it can be done from your computer or your smartphone, your tablet, wherever you happen to be, you can run this business. It allows you to be your own boss. Many teachers have a lot of people they have to answer to, not just the principal, but the school board and all kinds of the teacher union. It's just awful. This allows you to make you call the shots. It does provide an additional source of income. And remember, rich people have more than one source of income. They have multiple sources of income. And this is an additional way that teachers can have an additional source of income without pulling away from their already busy lives. And what's really nice about it is it can supplement your retirement funds. And we all know that all our retirement funds could use some supplementation. So skills that teachers have can actually help them do this business and it'll come naturally to them. So it's not like a skill they have to learn. They've already possessed the skills. Now, network marketing is not for everybody. We understand that. But if you already have the skills that you've developed over the years of being a teacher, wouldn't it be great to use those skills to make additional money? So one way is teachers are articulate. They can make a topic interesting. Now, keep in mind, they're having to entertain 30 plus kids in it at any one time on maybe a topic that isn't real popular. And They know how to take a very difficult subject and put it into easy, understandable terms. And this can give them an edge when you're trying to explain a process or maybe a product that might be beneficial to the customer. And you're patient. Teachers are really patient. And not just with the kids. Think about it. For every kid in there, there's at least 1 to 2 parents that they have to deal with too. So they're really good at keeping their composure, and they're really good at adjusting the pace depending on who they're dealing with. And this is really, really important when you're able to talk to different kinds of people with different kinds of interests and different abilities. So this is a very useful skill that you already have, that we don't need to teach you how to do that. You already know how to do it. You're organized. Teachers spend their lives following a curriculum, a schedule, a task sheet. This allows them to maintain their focus, and they don't get easily sidetracked, which is really, really critical when you're starting a business. You need to stay on task. Teachers come by this naturally. They're already doing it. Your leader, teachers are leaders. They know how to inspire people. Sometimes people want the quick fix. They want to spend a week and then they want to spend, make, 6 figures. Real life doesn't work that way. You have to make goals, you have to make plans. And a lot of people quit easily because they don't know how to make a plan. Teachers excel at this. They know how to take things and break it down into step-by-steps. And they know how to inspire people to keep them motivated. So not only do you bring the skill of teaching how people, how to break a plan down into different individual steps so they can achieve their goal, you also know what it takes to motivate people when sometimes things don't always go as planned. You're not quick to quit, and you don't allow other people to quit either. And that's what's wonderful about you. You're like, oh, I can handle this because I know how to motivate people and I know what it takes to reach a goal. Teachers have a huge network of contacts. So now I'm not saying you should need to go out there and, commit to all your parents, but a lot of times as a teacher, you make these wonderful relationships with your coworkers. And occasionally you'll have like a homeroom parent that helps a volunteer, that you really foster some wonderful, deep relationships. And that's how you're always coming across new people. And again, it's not like you're going to be hiring all your parents, but as you develop these wonderful relationships, as people really are drawn to you because of all your skills, this can actually lead to some really loyal customers and business partners. And that makes you just a magnet for the people you want to work with. Sometimes we're working with coworkers that, we wouldn't pick if we had our choice. But that's one thing wonderful about owning your online business is you get to pick who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with. So that's a wonderful perk that teachers or anybody as a worker will tell you. If they could pick their own coworkers, they would definitely pick a lot different ones than they're currently working with. So let's talk briefly about how to get started. So if you're curious about how you can experience the benefits of becoming an online entrepreneur, I'd like to invite you to take a free, no-risk tour of my business center. So you can explore the opportunity, you can look into the business, how it runs, and I'm very, very adamant about free, no risk. I don't like spam. I don't like people saying, oh, you looked at my website, let me throw you a bunch of stuff at you. I don't do that, okay? I like to give people an opportunity to look free with no obligation, not putting any information in. You don't even have to put any info in. So in the tour, you'll discover the market that is experiencing great growth while everything else is either becoming stalemate or tanking because of the economy. And let me tell you, the economy is going to get worse. Okay, it is not going to get better. I think we can all agree it's going to get worse. But what's interesting is this type of market that we're going to be using has not tanked. It has continued to grow through recessions and everything else, inflation, you name it. The high quality of the products that the consumer buys month after month, we'll talk about that. We can also tell you about ways that you can create sales without selling, because the 99.9% of the people I come across say, I am not good at selling. I cannot sell. I don't want to bug my family and friends. I don't want people crossing the street when they see me because they don't want to talk to me because they think I'm going to send them a sales pitch. I don't want sellers. I don't want hardcore sellers like that. I'm looking for educators, people who can educate the consumer and let the consumer decide what it is that they want. We have a supplier who's now more closer to 65 years old, who provides the wonderful products. So we are not providing the products. And I love their business model because it's based on the golden rule. And the golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that is how we base our business. We treat others the way we want to be treated. Our competitive advantage and some of the benefits like paid travel, you can get car bonuses. Wouldn't it be great to drive a brand new car that's paid for? Additional income, the flexibility, and even some additional security because, you know, schools, it's kind of crazy out there and teachers aren't guaranteed a job. So having that extra security to fall back on as a safety net, huge, huge. And we're going to tell you about some ways you can do it in your spare time. So again, it's not you trying to find time to work additional business. It's able to kind of maybe tuck the business into the little nooks and crannies that you have in your life and how to start on a budget. We know that teachers do not have tons of money to invest in business. We like to work with people in their budget. And we're not talking thousands here, okay? We are not even talking that anywhere near that. So we will meet you where you are at, and we can find a way to help you get started no matter what your budget is, okay? I want to thank you for joining us in this webinar. I'm going to put the link to my business tour down below. As again, you do not have to put in any information to check it out. You can watch some of the informational videos that discuss a little bit about the info, about the business, what's involved. And then and only then, if you think it's something you want to look even in further without any obligation, you can then reach out to me and go, hey, Julie, I really would like to have a guided tour. Can you give me some more information? Let's talk. And again, that is also no obligation. All you got to do is just say, you got to reach out to me and allow me to, either call you or email you, and we'll set up an appointment time to do that, and we'll talk. There is no obligation. I hate spam. I hate people constantly dumping tons of info on me every single day with a million emails. I don't do that. All right. I just hope that you at least take a tour. And if it's for you, ask more questions. We'll look into it together. If it's not for you, no harm done, no hard feelings. And maybe you just know someone that might like it better. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you'll join us on upcoming events as well. Be sure to look down in the comments for that link. And if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to me. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you. Take care.